Jeff, now, talking of good fortune, imagine being an only child and just longing for a brother or sister, then to find out that not only had you a sister, but a brother too, a family there waiting for you.
Honestly, this story is just a heart-wrencher. Thanks to the incredible work from the team at Long Lost Family, Mary Arbuthnot's dreams really did come true.
A sister?
Oh, nice to meet you.
Oh, wow. Sit down. Oh, my God. It's a long time, 58 years. And you knew nothing? No? And to find out that George had been looking as well?
Yes.
That's him.
There he is. Hello.
Hello, lady.
Here we go.
How are we doing?
How are you?
Wow.
It's a lot, isn't it? It's just so emotional watching that. Newfound siblings, Mary, Andrea and George, joined us now on the sofa. Thank you so much for coming in. You three are absolutely cut out of each other, seeing you sat there together, across the eyes. I mean, there's no mistaking that you're all siblings. What an incredible story, Mary. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about it. So let's go back to the start. You're 10 weeks old when you were adopted. What happened there?
About 12 weeks old when my mum and dad adopted me from mother and baby home in Liverpool. And yeah, I was brought up with them and had a really, really happy adoption and the best mum and dad ever. Although they did tell me from the age of about 7 that I was not adopted but chosen. And if, you know, I never needed to ask anything, they'd give me the answers, but I never did. Because when you've got a great mum and dad and you're loved, you've no need to. Until you get a little bit older and you do start to think, well, I just wonder.
And I suppose you, at that point, you're only thinking about maybe about your mum and dad.
Yeah.
Little did you know you had a whole family waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
And was it, did you say when your father died?
Well, it was just before he died. He left me some paperwork, which was adoption paperwork, court documents from my adoption, and also a letter-headed paper from the adoption Liverpool Catholic Society in Liverpool. So I did get in touch with them, and the lady I spoke to said, I'll let you know if we have any information. Because being back in the 60s, they didn't really keep an awful lot of information, but she did. So when I went in to see her, over 20 years ago now, she said, you've got a full brother and a full sister.
This was the first time you learned anything about your birth parents, is it? At this stage?
It was, yeah.
What did you find out about them?
So I found out that my birth mother was a 34-year-old Irish woman. Her and my birth father had stayed together, and also that she had had 2 other children.
Right. Which we now know. I mean, we just context, you know, and it was an awful period in Irish history. But in the 60s, if you're an unmarried mother in Ireland, you know, you were treated pretty badly. And they'd often come over to England. And you know, you have to feel for them because of the time. It was a very difficult time for a lot of them. And as you now know. So you had to wait a long time to meet your siblings.
I did. Obviously, now and then that I did have a full sister and a full brother. It did take me a while to think, well, would they want to be found? Did they know about me? You know, it's intrusion into people's lives. Would they really? But anyway, so in the end, through watching Long Lost Families all the time, I thought, if I'm going to do it, that's the way. Because they have the specialist social workers, the intermediaries that can find people that you can't. So that's exactly what I did. That was about 4 years ago now.
Wow. And Andrea, you got a call out of the blue, didn't you, from one of the producers of the show?
Yeah, I actually received a letter, first of all, and with the phone number on, so I called the lady and she then told me about the programme and that they were, you know, Mary, first of all, so I only knew, you know, that Mary was looking for me, so I was really
But before that, did you even know you had any siblings?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know anything. Yes, yeah, I was
So
really
what a
surprised.
shock.
Yeah, so I was so happy and, you know, really, you know, couldn't wait to meet Mary. And then I found out about George as well. So that was even.
What did you know,
more.
George?
I knew about the two sisters, and I'd been looking for a couple of years.
Oh, so you, in advance of all this,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
known. Okay.
Because my kids got me a DNA test one Christmas, and yeah, one of our relatives in Dublin, told me about that our mum had more kids, and yes, I'd been looking for them.
I knew they were Irish. I knew they had the magic in them.
Yeah.
I could see it in the eyes. I could see it across the eyes.
It's a good job people do those DNA tests, though, isn't it? Because it's put you in the database and meant that you can all find each other, which, like you say, at one point, it would all have been paperwork, lost and forgotten, and it might have almost been impossible. I bet you thought it was impossible at one point.
Well, I did, because I've never put my DNA on a database, so George wouldn't have found me through that anyway.
No.
Really. And it was only when, obviously, then I contacted Long Lost Families, because I think, George, you'd been looking for 4 years, George.
Yeah, something like that,
He did manage to get a copy of my original birth certificate, but my name has changed 3 times. Because, I mean, I'm married now, so it's my married name. So then there was the name that my birth mother gave me, then the name that my adopted mum and dad gave me, and now I'm married. So I think it might have been a bit difficult for George, but he can't get over the fact that I got to him first.
Can I ask you, did you find, all these years apart, did you find there was a very deep connection anyway, almost something soulful that you had?
Definitely. You know, obviously through watching the programme, when they say, you know, when they meet, there's that instant connection. And it's true. It really is, honestly.
What is
true.
it? Can you describe what it feels like?
You can't explain, but it really is true.
Is it like you've known each other?
Yeah.
George,
you said it, I think, on the show, didn't you? You said, I feel like I've known them all my life.
Yeah, it was strange, yeah. We all met at the first time, yeah. It was like we'd always known each other.
And I suppose from watching the show, and I've watched so much of it, I've been out on maternity leave and I've been watching the show, and it's always heartwarming and lovely. And I always wonder, you know, how do they all get on afterwards, and are they all still in contact? So after the show, how often did you try and meet up, or do you try and see each other? Because you don't live, you live about 40 miles apart.
Well, I'm in Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
George is in Essex and Andrea's in Kent, so they're closer.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm only a train ride away anyway. But we had a weekend in George's in January.
Twice. Oh, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
And in June. And I mean, I'm hoping that they're going to come to Liverpool as well soon.
Andrea, how's it changed your life?
Yeah. Well, so it's just given me much more of a wider sort of outlook of what could happen in the future, you know, with now knowing I've got a wider family and we've all, you know, even met other relatives through meeting each other as well. So it is really lovely, you know.
George, Christmas is going to be absolutely
Rammed.
Yeah, a lot bigger list this year, isn't it? All the grandkids as well. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so
having
much.
us.
It's lovely to meet you all.
I mean, it's just across the eyes, Shan. Look.
Oh, I know. I'm crying already. I just love it. I think it's so brilliant. And you are so brave to come on television as well to do that. So,
Well, you
thank
know,
you.
honestly, it's a small price to pay for this. It really is, honestly.
Oh, I hope more
gorgeous.
people do it.
Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
Thank you so much.